What's up, guys? Nick Hewitt here. It's a little bit on the late side. It's about midnight. Um, I've been working since about 8 o'clock this morning, and I have not stopped. It's just been a really productive day. I got some freelance stuff done and lined up. I went out and met a client and stuff, but I got a little bit further in my framework, and I thought this would be a good opportunity to basically show you where I'm at. Um, I am designing my framework to be user friendly, or at least I hope it is. My whole theory is a user should never have to go to a completely different website or an admin area to make changes to their website. Um, there are so many or so many different frameworks and pieces of software like Joomla, WordPress. They all require you to actually leave your front end in order to make changes, and I want to avoid that. Joomla does have an edit screen on the front end, but it's not as robust as you would get in the back end. So I want to kind of make it all on the front end. But this is basically a model view controller design pattern. So I have my model view controller, and then I have one additional class which I'm calling my application class, which is like the bootstrap file for that particular application. And the way that I designed this was so that way you could create your own application and then just drop it into the applications folder. You would have to enable it on the front end and probably create a menu link, which I quite haven't thought that whole piece through yet, but that is definitely in the works. So but one thing that I have been working on tonight is getting search engine friendly URLs working. And right now I'm not connecting to a database. I don't have any kind of information that is set up, but I do have multiple views. And I'm going to show you some of my code right now. And this is nowhere near production. It's got so many comments and debugging stuff in it. But I'm just going to basically give you a rundown of the file structure here. So, my main directory, all I have is my index.php templates, which I want to make interchangeable templates, so you can design your template, drop it in, enable it, and then your site should take on that new template design. Joomla did this. WordPress, I believe, has something similar, and most of the larger pieces of software out there will have it. So I want to try and incorporate something like that. The library just has a bunch of all the files that are common to my particular framework, and then the applications is the applications pieces that I was just discussing. So I have my users, just a test application, which is the default one that loads, and then a login application. So now if I go back over to Firefox, and right now I'm at the login, my view is set to main, and then within my views I have particular templates. So now if I actually were to get rid of this, the ampersand template equals form, it would actually load up the default template. And you can just do a regular block of text, or you can do a list or something like that. But if I want to change my application, I'll just use users, and as long as I have app equals something or a particular application, it'll load up that application. But if I were to try to app equals Mickey, it says application does not exist or not enabled. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple of spelling mistakes in here. But the other thing that I was working on was getting search engine friendly URLs. So if I take that whole index.php piece out, and then I just type in users main, which I'm using main as like a keyword to denote it's going to be the main or the default view for this particular application, and then index.html, and I'm using HTML as the default extension. I'm going to be able to, or you should be able to reset it to whatever you want, but for right now that'll work just fine. And then index.html, that's just the default. So now, right now I'm loading the user's default template. Now I can change that to form, and now it's loading the user's form template. And these are just, like I said, very basic text stuff. But now if I want to do a list, just change my view to list. Now it's a loaded user's list form template. That's a mouthful, but anyways, so I am loading different views based on my URL that I pass in. So now if I come back over here, users, I have my controllers, my models, which I don't have anything there because I'm not connecting to a database yet. And then I have my views, which I have my default in my list. And within that, I have my template folder with my different views or my different templates. So hopefully once I get this down a little bit further, I'm gonna do some documentation. The whole reason why I'm building this framework is because I want to redesign my website. I already came up with the graphic design. I've gotten really good feedback on it, and I'm definitely going to stick with that one. But I am going to try and build my own framework. I'm having a little bit of fun with it. It's definitely keeping me up at night because I would normally, well, I shouldn't say I would normally be in bed by now. I would probably be in bed in like 2 hours or so. But anyways, it keeps me busy at night, and I'm having fun with it. And what was the other thing? Oh, I'm just going to show you how to do that, how to actually do the search engine friendly URLs. So what I did is I built a class called router, and for me, I'm passing in my application. I'm saving my application name, the default controller that I'm going to be using, and the view, and then also my template. Config is just there because right now I have it in a subdirectory and I have to pull out that subdirectory name in order for this to work. So I'm just pulling the live site variable right now. So if I come over here, I have remove live site path, or remove live path, and that'll remove that particular piece. I have a method called remove file extension, so it doesn't matter what is going to be at the end of it, or I shouldn't say that. It is based on whatever my file extension is in my configuration file, but if I want to remove that so that way it just has the name of the form or the template that I want to load rather than loading up form.html. So, yeah. And the last piece, which actually does the legwork, is the load app method, and this actually gets the configuration instance, which is a singleton pattern. I built this request class so that way it doesn't matter whether it's in the post, get, or session global variable or global array. I'm going to be able to get that variable. And right now I'm looking for route, and that is a key piece to getting this working. Let me actually go over to, I'm just going to go find it really quick. Alright, so I just opened up my .htaccess file, and this is synonymous with Apache. So what I did is I have the rewrite engine module or mod rewrite enabled and installed, and I'm just turning it on in my htaccess file, and anything that has a request file name that is either a file or a directory, then I am sending it to index.php with a query string of rt equals, and whatever is after, or whatever's after the root directory of my site is going to get passed in as this $1. So users / main / form.html is going to get passed in as right here. So that's that. And I built three more functions or methods. And the first one's parse query string, so that way it does work if I don't have the search engine friendly URLs. So it's looking for app equals, and that sets my application, view equals, and that'll set my view, and template equals, that'll set my template. But the way that I have it set up, it's hard coded, so it has to be in that particular order. And then the next piece is parse route, and that'll just go through, it'll break apart all of those forward slashes, and then it'll set it up into the different parts. And each of these have the variable name parts, and that passes it down to set route, and that's what actually sets those variables. I'm going to do an actual tutorial on putting this together, so that way you guys can see how that works. But I just want to kind of give you a quick rundown and give you an update of where I'm at with this. And I definitely have quite a bit more work to do, because I have to actually build my templates class and get that working, so that way you can put in CSS, HTML, and then load in your main view into that layout. And then also I want to make it so that way you can add in different views, or I'm not quite sure what I want to call them. Either modules, or Joomla uses modules, and that's what I've used in the past, so maybe I might use that, but I don't want to copy those frameworks too much. But anyways, just a thought. So far, let me know what you think. I know it's very basic, very stripped down at this point, but hopefully in the next week or two I'll be able to get this a little bit further along, loading in actual usable content. I do have it, so that way if I fill in my form, let me go back over here. Users list form. Actually, I gotta switch this to login. /main/form. If I type in, I don't know, I forget, I have it hard coded right now. Applications login, views. Oh, whoops, controllers is where I want to go. And Hewitt is my username, and 123 is my password. So if I type that in, and it tells me I logged in successfully. But if I go back and let's say I do 456, it says user creds don't match. So eventually I'm going to hook that up to the database and get that working. That'll probably be something I do in the next week or so. Get my sessions working, user account management, all that stuff. So stay tuned. I'm going to try and do some update videos, and as I go through this, it's going to take some time, but this has been my project for the past couple weeks, along with the 6 freelance projects that I'm working on, the 3 courses that I'm teaching online, and also the full-time gig I have as the webmaster at a local college. So yeah, I'm a little bit on the busy side, but trying to make a little money, have a little fun at the same time. Getting married in September, so gotta keep things fresh and gotta keep the money coming in with all those expenses. But let me know what you think. Subscribe if you guys want. I'd be greatly appreciate it, and I'll definitely, once I have more time, put up more videos. I know a lot of people have requested it. Actually, usually if someone has any questions while they're going through my videos, send me an email, ask for help. I'm more than happy to help any of you guys. I actually had someone contact me earlier today, and as soon as I got home, I mean, it was a 13-hour day for me before I even got home, but as soon as I got home, I took the time and I helped him out and went through the stuff. So I'm more than happy to help you guys out. Just shoot me an email and let me know what you think. Thanks.